no, you didn't, Jessica.
I'm like, no, you didn't, Jessica. Bortney, you did not do that.
This isn't therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This isn't therapy.
Hello, hi.
And welcome
Back
to another fun,
flirty
fabulous
episode of This Isn't Therapy.
Finger guns.
Not finger guns in that shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That
Ooh.
camo shirt.
Oh my god. The podcast
Yeah.
about all the stuff people are talking to their therapists about, and now they're talking about me.
And that camo shirt.
Yeah. Oh no.
Weird.
My name is Jake Ernst. I'm a therapist. Who are you?
My name is Simon Palick, and I'm not a therapist.
Wow, bad way to start.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's
It's okay.
okay. But that's on purpose.
Yeah.
So Jakey and I were just two friends who like to have conversations about therapy themes.
And that was a bit.
So each week on this podcast, Jakey and I, we grab these grubby little paws.
Not the finger guns.
Not the finger guns, grubby paws, and we pull back the therapy curtain. We reach into the therapy room. We pull out a theme, a factoid, a question, a query, something that is floating around in the culture, and then we have a casual Kelly couch conversation about it. Why?
Well, it's because therapy themes are everywhere you look.
That's right.
That's right. And we do that every single week.
We do
because
that.
these topics matter a lot.
They
and sometimes
do.
the culture gets to the therapy themes before we do.
And it happens.
You know?
It happens. We're not in syndication yet. So sometimes like our
Yeah.
content has to, we're playing catch up, and sometimes we're riding the wave. We're ahead of it.
Actually, that's a good segue.
Is it?
because,
Speaking of speaking.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, 100%.
The first therapy theme that we're going to talk about has actually been a therapy theme that has probably been around for, what is it, over 26 years?
Yeah.
This is a long time therapy theme.
Are we talking about
We're talking about
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, are you talking about yours?
No, I'm talking about yours.
Or you're talking about mine.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Survivor.
Survivor.
Jeff Probst Survivor.
Jeff Probst.
I was
Survivor.
I was trying to say Jeff Probst
Yeah.
with an S, like apostrophe S.
Yeah, possessive, yeah.
Possessive Survivor. Anyway, he owns Survivor.
He owns it.
Yeah, anyway, we're going to finally talk about Survivor.
Mhm.
I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet.
And I'm really excited about that because
Yeah.
I during I think like many, it's been a while now, but
Yeah.
during lockdown, so many friends, so many people around me like love Survivor. Like it's their fantasy football, it's their religion. Like,
You might say I'm one of them.
and Jake is one of them. And so many people are like, Survivor, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and I'm like in the middle of it, being like, I don't know.
Is that what you think we look like?
Yeah. No, it's what you sound like.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah, sorry, exactly.
yeah. But now I speak the language because, and I remember Survivor growing up.
The blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But then it kind of just fell off it for
Yeah.
a while. But I remember like it used to be Thursday nights, and I remember like going home on Thursday and be like, Survivor tonight. But obviously there was like 18 years that I was just
Yeah.
like, because I grew up.
So you're new to the fandom.
So I'm new to the fandom, but not because it's been 2 years of having a friend of ours do a carefully curated watch this season to prepare you for this season, then this season. So I have seen so many seasons of Survivor right now that I feel like I'm like knee deep in it. Like
Yeah.
I have my theories, I have my favorites, I have my villains, like I have my playing cards.
Can
So
I
I'm so
say
excited to
something
talk
that
about
is
it.
about this, but not about this?
Okay.
I just realized that you look like Jeff Probst, and I look like I'm ready to be a contestant on Survivor. And this was not planned.
That was not planned.
This is not planned, but you are giving Jeff Probst.
You know what? Stand up. Drop your buffs.
Drop your buffs.
We're
We're merging.
merging.
Oh my gosh, we're merging. And then, not to diminish the second segment,
Yes,
but
yes.
we are also going to give a lot of airtime to the TikTok trend of hot girl walks.
Yeah. I need you to explain this to me, but
I
not
can't
now.
wait. Yeah,
In the second
I
segment.
can't wait to get into it. But I'm also so excited to talk about Survivor finally
Yeah.
on this podcast because now I have a Judy who I can do it with.
We can talk about our favorite survivors. We can do a thing. But anyways, to bring it to the pod, I want to kind of talk about the therapy themes
Yeah,
and like the whole social experiment.
Do we
He
have
rolls
to?
his eyes. Do we have
Do
to?
we have
Can we
to?
just talk about Survivor? No. I'm just so curious about like the social experiment of it all, like
Yeah.
and applying that therapy lens of it. And then, we'll talk about our favorite survivors and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, should we segue Sally?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Come on in.
See you. Come in.
Okay.
Come sit.
Okay. BRB.
Bye.
Bye.
Come on in, guys.
Did you know that it's no longer come on in, guys?
What is it?
I think it's everyone come on in. Come
Everyone
on in.
come on in.
He goes, come on in. Because he doesn't say guys.
Okay, so
Because not everyone's a guy.
So I have watched, early seasons, and right now I'm in season 25, which is Philippines, because I had done the trajectory
Yes.
for the Survivor people will know, but I've done the trajectory to prepare myself for fans versus favorites, and then quickly around the corner to do all of the little seasons to prepare me for heroes versus villains.
Can we, before we start here,
Yeah.
because we need to get into this,
Yeah.
but I think we also need to dispel that myth.
What?
I feel like there's this like cultural kind of lore about Survivor where everyone's like, that show's still on.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? That like, what is so enticing about either rewatching Survivor or
Yeah.
like, what is different about every episode that keeps people coming back?
Can I say for seasons, having going back all the way even just to the first season, it's such a time capsule
Yeah.
of culture at that moment.
Yeah.
Like you have like, lest we forget, there was a whole season that was like, they call it Race Wars, because it was like, and I don't think they've ever done it again. And I
No.
think I think it was like episode 3. They're like, okay, cool, we got to drop our buffs and merge because this is not a good idea.
This is not so great.
No,
Uh-huh.
no. And
Yeah.
so then there's like some cultural moments, and like, of course, you go through these things with like a present day lens, and you're like, wow, I cannot believe we had that. But what an insight into like what the world cared about
I
at
love
that
that
time.
take. Yeah, it's like a little crucible for like what is going
Absolutely.
on, right? And
Yeah.
what I personally love about it, just to talk about that therapy theme,
Yeah.
is that there's such an interweaving of what happens when people come together
Yeah.
who don't know each other, but what happens when they come in together as groups.
Yeah.
So sorry to go back to what you were saying. You have this like
No,
you have a plan.
because I have so much.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. But another thing too that I've also noticed is like the way the game itself has changed itself, because it
Mhm.
was in earlier seasons, it was about like survival.
Yeah,
And my understanding, because I haven't seen the most recent seasons, I've
the new era.
done David and Goliath, so I've seen the Mike White season.
Mm-hmm.
But then we went back into the 20s, and now we were in the teens, and then we were in like the early aughts of Survivor. So the game is always very different. But having dipped my toe in David versus Goliath, I'm like, oh, that's a very different game. It's more about game and social, and everyone's so aware of the gameplay that it feels like we're playing pieces of puzzles, and like everyone knows that hidden immunity idol, and then there's an advantage, like all these stuff. Versus the earlier seasons, there was a little bit more of like a subtle social gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Or even in the first early seasons, so there was this one guy, like I think it was like season 2, where he was just like, well, we're going to tribal, I'm just going to go alphabetically.
Yeah,
And you look back at that now and you're like, why would you ever do that? Number one, tell people who you're voting for. And number two, how arbitrary of like a selection criteria.
totally.
But that would never fly
I know.
today. But it's interesting because you can see that the focus at that time wasn't necessarily about the strategy or the betrayal. Like early Survivor, if you were a villain, it was not a good look for you.
Totally.
Like it was all about like honor and loyalty, and like the betrayals and the alliances weren't even a thing.
So in the new era,
Right?
This is a bit of a spoiler, but not so much.
Yeah,
In
just
the
don't tell me who wins.
In the new era, so there sort of emerges this like voting blocks trend where it's not actually about alliances. It's about, for this vote, who are the people, the block of people that want to vote together. So alliances are a bit more of a matrix. And so it's not so I am with my 5 people and we're all going to the end
Yeah.
loyalty. But you
Okay.
can still be loyal with all these different voting blocks. So you have people who kind of benefit your
Yeah.
game at that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one of the reasons why I love it, is because it is the blueprint for strategic reality TV. And this social gameplay, I think, is a really great jumping off point to talk about
Totally.
how all of this shows up in the therapy themes of
Yeah.
Survivor.
And even maybe just like tell me, even with your lens of and your schooling about just like Some of the things that I've kind of noticed, like, okay, so let's talk about like my number one point is how come some players are able to create like genuine bonds and why do other people struggle? Like, and this kind of falls under the umbrella of like attachment styles, right?
Yeah.
Like we've seen through the history of Survivor, like certain players are able to navigate having like genuine relationships with people and it not be, I don't know, like a point of contention, but a power move like Rob and Amber, you know,
Yeah.
like there are people out there who make it to the end, spoiler alert, that have a genuine like, I don't know.
Like
But-
a romantic relationship.
yeah, and I'm just curious
Yeah.
from like your lens, how come when you're watching Survivor and if you put your therapy goggles on for a second, how come some survivors when they go out with that look, you're like, fuck, I just want to watch the TV show.
My Survivor goggles.
Stop making me do homework, Simon.
My therapy goggles are on again and I can't get them off.
Help!
Cher?
Cher.
Is that
Cher-
you?
Yeah, Cher. She can't get it off.
Cher, baby, take the
Take the
goggles off.
Just take it off. But how come some people, when dropped on the island,
Yeah.
are able to form genuine connections quickly and honestly, and how come some people don't?
Have you ever been to summer camp?
No.
Okay, at like a sleepaway summer camp,
Mhm.
you're living with these people 24/7. You're with them all the time, and you're just like in it, right? And so you're building relationships very quickly. And I think Survivor is the same as that kind of social relationship where you're just living with them all the time. You get to know them very fast,
Mhm.
partially because you have to, but also partially because it really is what the situation calls for. And so relationships do form quickly. And I think the way that we relate to people outside of a game like that will influence how we relate to people inside of a game like that. And
Mm.
so think about all your social strengths. Like if you're a bit more socially anxious or you're a bit more awkward or if you're a bit quirky,
Yeah.
all that stuff comes with you into a game like Survivor, which is why I love it. And that's why they try to cast people who are authentically themselves.
Yeah.
Because you see people from all walks of life with
Yeah.
all different types of personality structures that like,
Yeah.
you know, influence the way they make decisions, the way
Yeah.
that they like freak out or don't freak out, the way they
Yeah.
handle stress and pressure, the way they handle the closeness of
Yeah.
some romantic relationships.
Yeah.
All show up there.
But even like when I think about like, I'm just going to reference for a second, like JP and Steven in that season, like
Yeah.
that was a genuine friendship.
Like
and then I think about
buddies,
Parvati
yes.
and Amanda.
Yes.
Or like Parvati, Amanda, and Suri before the betrayal. But
Yeah.
like it felt like that was genuine. Like that was, at least from my sitting on my couch looking at that, I'm like, that feels like a genuine relationship
Yeah.
because they never turned on each other.
Mhm.
But how come some people, like, is there kind of like is it a personalities thing? Is it like an attachment thing that allows certain combinations of people with different walks of life, like a JP and Steven, who are like, one was like a cattle rancher in the South and the other one was like a New York, like neurotic guy, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason they became buddies and they were able to trust each other and confide in each other and get to the end. How come some people can do that and then some people like are unable to find those
Mm-hmm.
bonds in like a game like Survivor?
Think about it like any group of people that come together, whether it's a classroom, like whether it's coworkers at work.
Hmm.
I think there's two ways that this happens. Either like attracts like, so you kind of go around the people that you're most like, or you're maybe you have a lot of things in common,
Right.
or it's the opposites attract thing, which is like, whoa, I've never met anyone like you before. You're so interesting.
Yeah.
Or wow, we're so different in the real world, but here there's something about this that works.
Right.
Sometimes that's strategic, and you'll see players that are kind of like, oh, people would never suspect us working together.
Yeah.
Or, whoa, I really don't like you, but I can respect that you're playing or handling the game.
Right.
And so I think that some of it is an element of strategy,
Yeah.
right? So it's not all just like genuine relationships.
Yeah.
I do think that people gravitate to each other in a game like Survivor
Yeah.
because it is offering them an advantage in the game. It
Yeah.
could be that first they form a bond because, oh, you're a lot like my brother, or oh, you remind me of my mom,
Yep.
or oh, you're kind of a lot like my best friend at home. So it's that like attract likes
Mhm.
situation. Or there's a strategy component to it, which is like, whoa, okay, I think we're going to be a powerful duo here,
Yeah.
which is again why I love it. And so I don't know if there's sort of a big answer from psychology about that in general, but what I
Yeah.
default back to is just friendship, right? What is it that makes two people friends? What is
Yeah.
it that makes people click?
Yeah.
A lot of it is personality style, right? So
Mhm.
when personalities match, you can have fun together. You can feel calm around that person.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't feel judged as much. I think there are a lot of factors that bring people together.
Mhm.
But the thing that I'm personally fascinated by is the villain component of this conversation,
Perfect segue.
which is what happens
Yeah.
when at once you felt like you could trust someone, but what happens when betrayal, rejection,
Mhm.
or being sidelined come into those relationships
Mhm.
that might be a feature of the game or might be part of a strategy of a game,
Mhm.
but at its core, because it's a social game, there are going to be people who win and people who lose, which
Yeah.
means that real relationships show up and are at stake in a
Right.
game like Survivor.
How come perfect segue? Because
Yeah.
my next point was talking about, you know how different people like put on characters, or maybe they're not characters, but it's their personality or a facet of themselves that get amplified.
Who? Name
Like
them.
Boston Rob talks
Name them.
about that being like,
No,
you
I
know,
meant in
it's,
real life. Name them.
oh, real, I don't know.
I'm kidding.
You, Jacob.
That's what I wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
Jacob Marie Willow Ernst.
You know how characters put on masks? I'm like, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, as a Gemini, I am always balancing like two masks, right? 'Cause I
Yeah.
have two faces. So
Bust Rob.
Boston Rob, for example, or like Russell, a very infamous villain, has sort of said always in the reunion, being like, "That's me," but that's like, you know, they always do that thing where it's like, "And here's my wife, and here are my kids," and like, I'm actually more human than I am this monster.
I'm playing a game.
But I'm playing a game. What is it about? Maybe you can talk about like survival coping strategy that comes into gameplay here, where people have to put on a character or a front in order to navigate a game like Survivor, where there is, you know, no one's dying, but it's like being voted off in the world of Survivor is dying, right?
Yeah.
So can you kind of tap into like the human, I guess, adaptive strategy, which is, okay, I can't be myself here. I can't be authentic, right? I can't be vulnerable. I have to put on a mask. I have to put on a character, or I have to like amplify a facet of myself. Can you kind of like talk about that?
Well, I think we do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
This is code switching, where you're able to kind of like a social chameleon, blend into your surroundings, and the parts of you that are required in that situation get to come forward. Right? So we see this happening all the time, not just in strategic games like Survivor or reality TV shows. Like I even think about just some families who I've worked with, where, and again, this is not just the families I work with, but this happens in families.
Just in general.
In general, a
Yeah.
common scenario is that kids will put on different facets of themselves at school versus at home, right? So certain parts of us come out in these different environments. And so a game like Survivor is designed to exploit our social instincts. It's designed to pull and tug on those parts of us that are conflicted, or maybe do have a hard time problem solving, or maybe do react really strongly when we're under stress. And so I like the Crucible example of Survivor, because I think it takes people from all walks of life, but it also draws on all these different ways to handle the same situation.
Right.
And so you see a bunch of people in very similar or the same situations,
Yeah.
like where they're cold, hungry, tired, they're like overworked, and they're just like sweating all the time.
Yeah.
They're like sunburnt.
Or the opposite, it's been raining for 18 days
Right, wet.
and they're so cold, they're
Wet.
so wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how different people handle the same scenario. And that's the reason why I love Survivors, because you just get such a human display of what happens when people are under pressure, under stress. And I do think that the part of the reason why I continue watching, and I have watched for so many years, is because I think at its core, it's a story of resilience. Like what happens when we are put in stressful situations. You get to see like all these different caricatures
Yeah.
of options and ways to handle that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like you're saying, is put on and it's strategic for the game.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get to see people who are just fully themselves, like being a mess or having fun despite it being really hard.
Yeah. Debbie.
Yeah, right. I think of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
examples, right? Like
Yeah.
of how people respond to being hungry, tired, and maybe being socially rejected or betrayed, or even just losing, right? You get a really good sort of vision of what happens when people win
Yeah.
and lose.
You know what's really cool too, in that same vein, is the little microcosm that becomes Survivor, because it is isolated.
Mm-hmm.
There almost becomes, it's interesting having seen so many concentrated seasons back to back. Sorry, so many seasons back to back in a concentrated amount of time, where you see when you get to the end what the jury ends up voting for. And sometimes there is like in their world of Survivor at that time, playing a very like cutthroat, strategic, villainous game is rewarded.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's loyalty. And sometimes it's that person is a competitor, has won every single immunity challenge. And sometimes it's someone who's never won a challenge.
Right. So if there's a bitter jury,
It's so interesting to see like within that, not only the individual masking, but then collectively as these different people who have shown up, you know, being a different version of themselves or whatever version they are under pressure, to then together contribute to the ecosystem, which has its own currency,
mm-hmm.
social or otherwise, that then gets decided collectively in this little microcosm without any outward influence, what the value of this little micro like society is and who's the person who wins the money.
I love that. It's so cool.
It's so interesting to
Mhm.
get to that end and be like, oh, that's the winner. Oh, that's not the winner.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. They had a totally different rubric
Yeah.
that they were scoring off of.
Yeah.
And so I don't think we can talk about Survivor without talking about maybe the psychological impact of being a contestant on Survivor,
Yeah.
which is also
looks rough.
which is also why they hire mental health professionals to be on staff, right?
Okay. Is that
Um,
new or they always had that?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay.
I know that for sure in at least the last 10 years, they've had they've always had medics on staff,
Yeah.
like the medical
The
professionals.
Australians, they're always Australian.
Yeah, right. But now I know they hire a lot of mental health professionals to handle people while they're in the game, and then people that they can tap into post game. So people that they can talk to, right, and chat through this stuff with. So whether that's in the moment,
Yeah.
or maybe even if it's after a blindside, or after maybe something happens that psychologically
Yeah.
might be still staying with them, right, post game.
Yeah.
I even think about just the way that social media has also really changed around the
Yeah.
reality television era, and I know that a lot of production companies will also offer support to the cast and contestants on shows like this, because even just the psychological impact post game, being out in the world
Yeah.
after that,
Yeah.
by having all these people perceive you and talk about you online,
Yeah.
there's also a value in having someone available to talk through that layer of it with someone who gets it.
Totally. I haven't hit that yet in Survivor World yet. Like, I think it's
Where you can tell that people are kind of putting on something.
yeah,
because
same
they
with Drag
know-
Race, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember early days Drag Race? It
Yeah.
was just about the competition,
Yeah.
and then now it's very much like, well, how am I going to be perceived online?
A self-censorship sort of thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's almost like a self-awareness. that
Yeah.
there's a camera on me.
Yeah.
I haven't hit that yet,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I feel like it kind of ruins it, but I don't know. I don't know yet.
But it is cool to see how the game evolves, and I think a lot
Yeah.
of Survivor fans will relate to this comment. I think many people have strong opinions about the new era of Survivor, which has shrunken from 39 days to a much shorter time frame. I can't remember what it is. I think it's
28?
Yeah,
Okay.
26 or 28. And the game just looks a lot different. So it's faster, but they also get access to advantages and rewards very differently. So it's not just immunity idols. There's a lot of other advantages in the game that kind of
Interesting.
come out. Anyway, but I think that is their attempt to keep the game
Yeah.
fresh and evolving.
Yeah,
all
I
that.
don't know 40 to 50 because
Yeah.
50 is coming out soon, but I don't know 40 to 50 because I haven't touched that. Actually, I've seen the Carolyn season,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it. Anyways,
So exciting.
So much. Last question before we move on.
Okay.
Who is your favorite Survivor ever? And would you ever be on Survivor? Would you ever want to be on
Okay.
Survivor?
Number one, the answer, would I want to be on Survivor? The answer
Yeah.
is yes. I would
Yeah.
love to.
Yeah.
I think that I would handle it well. I think the pressure cooker of it all, I think I could handle that well.
Mhm.
I think the social element of the game would be very fun for me.
You would have to lie that you're not a therapist.
Well, exactly.
You would have to be like,
I'm a kindergarten teacher.
no.
I'm
yeah.
a camp counselor.
Yeah. You know what I would say?
I run a camp.
I would. Someone once told me it's like the best thing to say is just say you're an accountant because no one ever asks questions. Like,
People
what
are
kind of
just like-
accounting do you do?
People are like, oh, that's boring.
Yeah, and then they move on.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay.
So I think the short answer is yes, I would love to.
Mhm.
Favorite Survivor of all time has to be probably Parvati Shallow.
Okay, that's mine.
I know that's yours too.
Yeah,
She's just the best.
she is.
She's just like unequivocally the best.
I love her
she's-
gameplay.
Yeah.
I think she plays it so, and she's so active.
Yeah.
And like, I think she came from an era where there was like that powerhouse of women, like the Cerise, the Amanda, like
Yeah.
these women came up and like played the game in a way that like women can play the game. Not to say that they're limited in any way, but I think for so long it was like, you got to win challenges. You have to do
Mhm.
this. And the women were like, no, hold on. There's a whole other facet of this game that I can dominate in.
Yeah.
And I freaking love that.
Totally. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Anyway, that was our Survivor
That was our Survivor.
debrief.
Yeah.
We've been overdue for one.
Massively.
Yeah, we haven't got
Yeah.
to catch up on your Survivor viewing party.
Yeah.
That you've been having with yourself.
Every day. Yeah,
Exactly.
Galen and I,
Yeah,
every night, have
exactly.
been watching it. Like, we powered through.
I know. I love it.
17, 18, 19, and 20,
Love
I
it.
think, in 2 weeks.
So
like,
good.
It's great. I love it.
So fun.
Okay,
All right,
let's
well,
move on to the
let's
next
do
segment.
it. Okay.
Here we go.
I'll see you now. Hello. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was like, wait, where are we?
Yeah. Like, wait, are we in a time machine?
Resurfacing from Survivor World.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, what are we talking about in segment
Okay,
2?
listen,
Yeah.
Linda.
Linda's listening.
So for this segment, we're going
Mhm.
to talk about hot girl walks.
okay.
This is a trend that I can't quite trace it back to who started it. I think it's just a bunch of influencers have sort of gotten this, like, remember the hot girl summer sort of trend?
I do.
Megan
yeah.
Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Hot girl walks essentially is this new fitness trend where girls are getting together in these little fitness groups, kind of
Mhm.
like run clubs, but
Okay.
it's a walking group. And so they're all kind of centered around their own sort of what's it called? Routine. They have like their own kind of fitness routine. So maybe they'll do like a 5-mile walk, and then they'll kind of do a meditation on the beach after.
Miles? I don't know miles. I'm Canadian.
I don't know. Whatever.
What is that, 8 kilometers?
I don't actually know either.
I don't know. Okay, yeah.
They'll do a long walk.
They'll walk.
They'll do a long walk. So the girls are walking.
Yeah, the girls are walking.
And they'll get together and do maybe like a meditation or do like yoga after or whatever. It's a whole like fitness kind of culture basically.
Okay.
But it kind of morphed a little bit. And so now it kind of becomes this individual self-care practice that sort of suggests like you don't have to join the group to do it. You can just go on a hot girl walk and you can kind of girl boss, girl walk your way into self-care. So it kind of becomes this like fitness trend where it's marketed to women,
Mm.
where of course it in and of itself is not bad or wrong because again,
Like walking is
you're
good.
you're moving your body. Yeah.
So it's literally just walking.
yeah. It's sort of
It's literally like go for a walk.
it's literally go for a walk.
Oh, okay.
But we were talking about this a few weeks ago, and I think this is an interesting kind of connecting bridge to this trend.
Oh my god, are you threading the needle?
I'm threading the needle.
Cross
Yeah.
space and time
Martha
from
Stewart
one episode to
threading the
another.
needle. Yeah.
Are you gonna connect it to Martha Stewart?
No, but
Okay.
I can if you want me to.
can.
I
Episode 163.
Yeah, here it is.
You said this thing
Clock
at
the reference.
23 minutes and 47 seconds.
Clock the reference.
And you went, sing,
Here
sing.
we are.
Wow. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Fuck,
No, I'm
I
kidding.
ruined it.
No, I'm kidding. I do remember
Okay.
now.
Okay. Okay.
So a few weeks ago, we were talking about how we sort of create these new definitions for things where we just sort of slap a little label on something and call it this new thing.
Right. But it already
But
has
it's already
existed
been a
forever.
thing.
Yeah. Like walking.
Like walking. So I think that treatment is happening here
Mm.
where.
Or like drinking water, like
Where-
for a Stanley Cup. And you're like,
Yeah. Yes.
we've done this already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to being human.
Welcome to drinking water.
Welcome to drinking water. Welcome
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Okay.
And so I think that is the treatment that this self-care exercise is getting.
Okay. Love
Which is that walking, if you're able, is good for you.
Okay.
And slapping this label of, you can kind of market walks as like hot girl walks and you can be hotter if you walk
Okay.
is, again, not a bad thing in and of itself. However, I want to talk about kind of the mental health implications of some of this stuff.
Mm.
I think about some of the young girls who look at this type of content. So you got these influencers who are kind of in maybe their Aritzia set and they kind of have get ready with me, here's what I eat in a day videos
Mhm.
on their page.
Yeah.
I can kind of imagine what that page looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Then they also add I also go for hot girl walks. So it sort of creates a kind of a new aesthetic for a personality type, or a new aesthetic for who you should try to strive to be like.
Right.
And so I think these influencers really do create this really sly way of making these nods to, here's how to have good mental health, here's how to eat right, here's how to be the best version of yourself. And again, none of that is bad or wrong, but there are some costs to that, which is that people who maybe don't share that body type or don't have access to the same wealth that a lot of these influencers do, there's a lot of comparison that goes into watching someone else live their life and live life in a healthy way as they would claim it to be. So I think about just how it puts some kids at risk for eating disorders, high anxiety, a lot of comparison and pressure, perfectionism. And so I think we have to take this stuff with a grain of salt, that anytime we are displaying our self-care and performing self-care, we have to remember that that's not real self-care.
You know what's so wacky and wild? I find this so funny because I think about this all the time. Every time I see like I'm just going to use the example of the hot girl, so I apologize. Whenever I see a girly pop wearing her like purple blush, Aritzia workout stuff, doing like a yoga with her green juice, all I can think about is 7 seconds ago, prior to this, she like set up her little camera, went into her spot like a little actor and went, okay.
Places, everyone.
I'm perfect. I'm self-caring. And then runs this clip for maybe 15 seconds and then goes, okay, I think we got it. And then like tiptoes over like a little deer and stops it and then grabs her phone and sits on her yoga mat, still with her green juice, still with her like purple blush little Aritzia workout outfit, and is going like, let's do this again. And then stitches it together and uploads it to be like, this is what I did in the day. Like I did like 20 minutes of meditation. And I just find that so like not a read, even though it sounds like I'm reading. It is a read. But I'm just like the reality of what goes on behind the scenes is so absurd to me that I find it hilarious.
No, you didn't, Jessica.
I'm like, no, you didn't, Jessica. Bortney, you did not do that. You know, like it's so funny. And you know what? I'll flip it. Flip it. We see the men fitness influencers who are like really jacked that go to the gym, and like whenever you see them like doing their workouts at the gym, I'm just like, how friggin' cringe is it that you're like going to the gym and bringing your little tripod and recording yourself working out and then like stitching, like you're probably like doing your like, whoa, and then you're grabbing your phone and reviewing the footage and being like, I don't like the way I look. And then going back and putting it in a public space. Like that's so weird. I want to start a movement where people are like, start calling these. No, we shouldn't call people out. I don't want to say that. My movement is, let's just acknowledge the farceness of all of that. You know, if Wicked taught us anything, let's critique the wizard. You know, like let's pull back that curtain.
Pull back the curtain, because guess what? What's behind there?
It's so ridiculous.
Is a farce.
I find that so, but I also find it so funny. I'm like, girl, guy, get your coin.
Yeah.
We all swim in the waters of capitalism. We're all trying our best, right? That's not a whatever. That's not a justification. But I'm just like, let's talk about that too as well. Like, how funny is that? You're telling me your day.
I'm still laughing. Keep going.
But like, but then I'm curious. Like,
the mic
do
is
you
on,
actually meditate?
The mic
after?
is on, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh,
keep
shoot,
going.
You're not just having a But like, do you actually meditate after? Like, do you actually work out while you're doing this? Like, do you actually do the thing that you're showing? I don't know if anyone out there has ever seen this, and it's one of my favorite things ever. But I've seen it. Never mind. I have seen multiple like fitness influencers like do their thing, or just influencers in general. Like if you've ever seen an influencer film a video, it's, and I don't mean this as like a like, oh, they're so stupid. I don't mean that in any way. What I mean is like, I feel sorry sometimes. Like I feel bad because it's that like immediate putting on a mask.
Yeah.
and you see how quickly they put on like the mask, and then
Hey, you
it
guys, welcome
falls,
back to my channel.
and then it comes up,
Yeah.
and then it goes down, and I'm just like, I just kind of look at that, and I'm just like, I'm worried as to like, what does that do to you? Like, how do you keep track of then what is real and what is not if everything that you're doing is a performance?
Mm-hmm.
Every aspect of your life is a performance. How do you keep track of what is real and what is not?
I don't think you do. I think you have quite a hard time with that, actually. I think,
Yeah.
but it's the performance of self-care, the performance of authenticity.
The performance of like going out for dinner and being like, hey, let me show you how many friends I have. Like, I'm just like, I always see like almost like the wide camera.
Yeah.
Whenever I see these videos, I'm always thinking of like, what's the wide shot? And the wide shot is
That's so you.
It is
That's
so
such a-
me.
That's such a you.
it's so
You
but
just
then
did a
I think about
you.
it and I look at that, I'm like, oh, that's so ridiculous and absurd.
Yeah.
And you know,
You know what it reminds me of is, have you seen the Instagram account Influencers in the Wild?
no, but I bet
It's really funny.
is it?
It's that kind of
That's so funny.
wide shot, second observer,
Yeah.
like breaking the fourth wall kind
Yeah.
of Instagram account
Yeah.
that catches these people kind of doing that.
yeah.
And I don't know if it's necessarily driven by like public shaming. I think
Yeah.
it's more kind of driven by the like weirdness and wackiness that you're pointing out, which is that like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Why
That's
have the social norms changed so much?
That's the piece that I like. I'm not calling for public shaming. I'm not calling for any of that. Like, don't do that. Let people live their life. Whatever. If that makes you happy, that makes you happy. If you want to tap dance on the street with a little camera and do your thing, sure.
but
do
it does make you wonder, like,
But have also the conversation about like, I don't know, the performance element of it. I just kind of want to.
it just makes you wonder, like, is it for the performance element, or is it sort of just plainly just without shame, I'm going to try to get clicks and attention online
But I
to
think
make money?
But I think it is that, but it's not being marketed as that. And I think that's
Yeah.
where I get a little like
Yeah.
Simon's on his soapbox again.
Yeah.
Because I think about like, I just struggle so hard with people who try to market one thing, but it's very clearly not another thing. So
Well,
when you talk about the
yeah.
hot girl walks, and my biggest critique is anytime I see a what I eat in a day, I'm like, cool. So we've rebranded ED, like cool. Or like, let me show you how many grams of protein I get from Costco. Cool. Like we've rebranded like an eating disorder.
And probably normalized it
Cool,
a bit too
cool.
much. Yeah.
But we packed it in as like fitness. Like not about it. Not
I
about
know.
it.
I know. But I think you're right to point out the cringy nature of it,
Yeah.
because we as people like have a social structure, right? We have social norms
Mm-hmm.
that should guide our behavior. And so anytime someone is like going outside of those rules is sometimes and can be good for change to
Yeah.
happen. But I think this is an example of like where that version of change is like, no one wants that. No, who asked for that?
Yeah.
We don't want those videos. I don't understand like why we find them so hard to unhook from and detach from.
Yeah.
But also like why we like, yeah, I don't know. There has to be some kind of scheme to it, as you're pointing out.
Yeah. Sorry, I just thought of, I remember seeing this one video of, it's like, you see them all the time where it's like people are showering in their videos. Like, it's like a get ready with me. And I'm like, so your routine, which normally probably takes like whatever, 20 minutes, probably took like 40, because for every step you had to like get out of the shower to like move the camera to then show you getting out of the shower. Like, I'm just like, that's so weird and absurd. Like, do what you want with that. But I now more and more I think of that like that wide shot, and I'm just like, that's wild.
If we could be a fly on the wall to watching
What a wacky, weird
this life. Yeah. Well, and there's also a lot of
thing.
people who are coming forward who have since left that kind of
Yeah.
job or lifestyle
Yeah.
where they say, yeah, it's awful. Like, it's not as fun as I make it look,
Yeah.
right? It's not as like glamorous as it seems. In
Yeah.
fact, it's really long days. Being a content creator is just really grueling.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think there is that performance element that we need to take a closer look at.
I co-opted this whole second segment with
Love it.
my whatever. Did you have stuff that you wanted to talk about? As we're about to run out of time.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No, I think we're done here.
You just tapped into,
I really just
Yeah.
wanted to present the problem.
And I was like,
and then, yeah, exactly.
and I just went,
And then I wanted us to talk about it.
I fell into the trap.
No, it's okay. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I love when we get to that place where we
Mm.
get to have some cultural commentary and critique of like, is this the way forward, and do we want to continue doing it that way?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's really good that we get to be able to ask those questions
Mm-hmm.
because there are those unintended consequences that we talked about
Yeah.
that we probably don't want to establish as the new normal.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's the thing. And I think even, sorry, I was like, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to continue talking. But I think when I think about like the harm,
Yeah.
right? Like I think about those people who don't have that body type, who don't have that like that nose shape, that don't have like, live where they live, who don't have the rich, partner that can like supplement a lifestyle where you can just spend this, like I think about the harm of making it like, I don't know, like a brand for like a Hawk Girl Walks includes, only owning like a Stanley Cup. And it also means like only having like yogurt bowls. Like I think about the harm of seeing that, and that's our goal in terms of, because that's going to have physical harm on people. Like that's the part where this all comes from. Like I think about all those like the men out there that watch these like insane fitness influencers who seem to like their whole life seems to be the gym, who look like they walked off of like a Men's Health magazine, which I'm like, is that healthy? Or is this just eating disorder?
Right. Where you're kind of like, are we
have we formed a new form of an eating disorder? Have we rebranded it?
well, it's called orthorexia.
Right. But like, right. Like I've been saying
Yeah.
that.
No, I know.
Is that what it's called?
Orthorexia, yeah, is where you're really obsessive about like health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
to,
no one's
to the
having-
point where it's damaging to your
No one's
health.
having that conversation.
Right.
Well, we're
exactly.
having that conversation.
Well, we are. Exactly.
Why am I so upset?
I love the passion, and I also think that you are saying a lot of truths that people probably have been noticing and seeing for a
Yeah.
long time.
I just think of harm. I just think of like the young people in general who look at this shit and they
Yeah, it's not.
feel
yeah.
terrible about themselves.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the idea of people doing that and
You
then
know-
subscribing to behaviors that then are causing real physical damage.
You know what this goes back to?
What?
Because I think I found one of your buttons. You
What's
have
my button?
you have a button for dirty marketing. Every time there's like
do.
dirty marketing or there's like tricks that are happening,
Yeah.
or there's like little like psychological like
Mm-hmm.
like sleight of hands that are happening,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, no,
I don't. And-
don't.
but that's in general. Like I
Yeah,
often say
I
that
know.
with a lot of people where I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't like platitudes. Like I
Yeah.
don't manage me. Like I can just be honest with me, be transparent. If you're trying to sell me something, just sell it to me. That's fine.
yeah.
I don't have a problem
this
with
thing
that.
for sale. Yeah,
100%.
buy my hot walk
No.
journal.
But don't pretend to be my best friend so that you can sell me something. Cause I'll sniff it and I'll be like, stop it,
Yeah,
And it really frustrates me
yeah,
when I see like people acting a certain way or like leveraging good nature or
yeah.
like using things like relationships to people to like sell shit
It's
that
exploitation.
you don't
yeah.
need and a
Yeah.
lifestyle that is absolutely impossible to attain.
Yeah.
So anyone out there, think of that wide shot. Every time you see an influencer whose life is so idyllic that you're just like, oh my God, I wish that was me. Think of that wide shot.
Retweet,
Retweet.
re-exit.
That's what I think.
Exactly.
You know what's so funny is a lot of the work that I'm
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop talking. But a lot of the work that I'm doing right now with my films and all of my scripted development, I live in this world.
Yeah.
So I've been doing so much like research and I have so much awareness about it right now because I was curious about like why does this have such an impact on me?
I love that. It's
Anyways.
so. I find that aspect of your work so interesting.
Yeah, thanks.
And it's so important that you're doing this work.
Yeah.
That's like we need this type of show
Yeah.
or this type of content that
Yeah.
drives a conversation in a different direction.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because right now we're like, this can't continue.
We know this doesn't work.
Yeah.
We know this doesn't work, but we're not changing.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Maybe that's also just a comment about a lot of other things that we that we notice.
Okay,
right,
I need a walk
listen.
around the block.
I was gonna say we need a hawk girl walk.
I need a hawk or a walk around
We're
the
gonna
block.
take a hawk girl walk, and then we're gonna be right back
Where's my Stanley Cup?
for our final segment.
Where's my Stanley Cup?
Oh, the hockey trophy.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, BRB.
We're back.
Cough, cough.
Simon's better.
Walk, walk.
Simon's better.
Yes, we just went for a gorgeous hawk girl walk,
Yeah, and it's sunny
And-
outside.
and now we're stunning.
Uh,
No, we're stunning.
Can you, before we move on to our final fabulous
Are
segment,
you gonna ask me to string these two
Yeah.
together?
Yeah,
you,
I am.
You little devil.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew you.
Survivor and Hawker Walks.
I knew you were going to.
Yeah,
You know what? For the first time in This Isn't Therapy history,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I can.
I can. Ready?
Do it. Oh my
Ready?
gosh. Wait, pass the mic.
I
Do
can. So sometimes when you're playing Survivor, you get really stressed. And I noticed
Stop it.
that maybe some of the contestants need to go on hot girl walks to just collect themselves so that they can come back as better versions of themselves.
You know what? That's so true.
yeah,
Sister, that's so true.
it's so true.
And I know
honestly.
you've been saying that
You
for a
gotta
while.
put the mask on yourself before you put the mask on others.
Yeah.
Others,
They've always said that.
honestly.
The airlines have been saying it, but now we are
but
finally
now we're saying it.
getting to the punch.
Yeah,
And so I think that's a great summary. I think that's brilliant.
it's the best I can do.
And so speaking of speaking,
Mhm.
at the end of every episode, we like to resurface.
Yeah,
We like to
reach around and grab a glass of water.
well, we also like to hope to string. We also like to hope. We also like to put string together the elements of the episode so that you kind of feel leaving with some levity, maybe a summary.
Yeah,
But also, we also like to give advice. Have you heard?
yeah.
We do like to give advice.
We're in the business of giving advice.
So if
I
you would
guess.
like to ask us a question
Mhm.
in our segment at the end of every episode, you can just pop that question into a question box.
Mhm.
The link lives in our bio.
Yeah, and we've had some increase of like more stories and more
Well, okay.
questions and stuff, which is awesome.
And in fact, we have a bit of a long one today, so
Yeah.
I'll elect myself as reader.
However, we need to.
Oh, I know.
We need the jingle.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. You were
Oh,
doing
I
the whole
know.
thing. So sorry.
I just wanted
thought
to let you know that before the jingle happens,
Yeah.
I will be reading.
That's so. Thank you for. You know what? Clear is kind. So thank
You're like,
you.
That's exactly what would have happened.
You know what? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mel Robbins, let them.
Let them. Okay. Without further ado,
And without further ado,
this is
Asking
Asking
for
for
a
a Friend. And so this lovely listener has a fabulous story to tell. So it goes like this.
Mhm.
I'm legitimately asking for my best friend / cousin. Get
Aw.
it? Like, get it? Like asking for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
friend?
Because our
Like,
segment's called asking.
they're
for a Friend.
literally asking for their friend. Okay. He is one of the best people I know, and I'm heartbroken.
Why?
He is a gay man, 46, and has spent 7 years single, hoping his male heterosexual married best friend will leave his wife. It's a bizarre dynamic where the friend calls him every night at 7:30 to talk for 10 minutes on his way to work. They met after he was married, and his wife doesn't like their friendship and he hides it from her. He says he is not gay and tells my cousin he never has a chance. Oh, this is juicy.
This is really juicy.
But gives what I would describe as breadcrumbs that keep my cousin hoping that one day he will leave his wife.
Mm.
We have all tried to gently and firmly talk to my cousin, but he is so wrapped up. As I type this, I realize how much we have normalized this and how sad it is. My cousin says he tried to date, but really it boils down to him thinking he has a chance with the other friend.
Mm.
How can we be supportive but assist my cousin? Year after year, it's just so much heartbreak. And now these two are starring in the Crave original Heated Rivalry.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Please welcome to the stage
Please welcome to the stage.
Ilya Rozanov and Shane Hollander.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, not Connor,
Yeah,
not
exactly. No, I'm kidding.
Not Hudson.
What
Yeah.
do you think?
Okay, should we answer the question or should I tell you what I think? What do you think?
How can we be supportive but assist my cousin?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know what you think. Let's go there first.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like I need to. Because I'm in this mood. Because I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you how I feel anyways.
Yeah.
What do I think? My initial gut, and I'll try to say this in a kind way, is I think as queer people, we're very used to being the prop to straight people in a way where we have a lot of emotional intelligence. Like if we're in the body of a man and we identify as a man, we often have like the emotional intelligence of that, like, you know, like a straight woman or maybe even a straight man would want from their like counterparts or their friends.
Mm.
So we often end up becoming, and it becomes symbiotic, but I think often sometimes we become like they almost date us emotionally and then they get to go back to their wife or they get to go back to their boyfriend.
Ooh.
So they tap into us for the emotional relationship and fill up the reserve, and then once they're done, they go back and they get to be in an actual relationship, and we're left alone. And I say this as like, that's not always the truth, but I would say, it's oftentimes, I don't think it's malicious, and it's not consciously like, I'm going to go do this thing. I think it just is a fabric of like what happens when, you know, I'll just use men, for example. Like, you have men who are very emotionally intelligent, and then you have men who are like a little stunted and like don't have the language or don't have the upbringing that helps them become that. So knowing all of that, those are my thoughts, and my heart breaks for him.
Me too.
Because I think of
too.
how deserving he is to have an emotional connection with someone, and if it is a man, wonderful, and also be in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
But it seems like this straight friend, whether or not they are bi, pan, gay, whatever, secretly closeted, whatever, it's not up for me to decide because I don't know this person, and I won't cast aspersions. But I will say, from this story, I would say you deserve to have the whole package. You don't have to just get, well, it's good enough that I get an emotional relationship and I feel safe with a man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You deserve to have that and be in a relationship where it is reciprocated.
I have the same reaction. I feel
That's
the
what
same
I
way.
feel.
I feel the same way. I feel those same emotional reactions, and I also think about the other person in that dynamic,
Mhm.
that sometimes people do bring us into their storm in a way,
Yeah.
and we also have to, I think, release ourselves from
Mm-hmm.
really stormy territory, right? And sometimes we really reduce our standards, or we reduce our sense of self to the point where we say, this is good enough, or this is all
Yeah.
that I deserve.
And especially I just think of,
And it's extra sad. Right?
yes, yes.
And so I see two people hurting here.
Yeah.
But it may be a scenario, just because I think it's important to, like, you know, give them some kindness too. Like, if they're happy, like, maybe it's working at this stage right now.
You mean the cousin best friend?
I'm just thinking for the lovely listener
Mm.
as a way to sort of say, like, just to let
like, what
yourself,
should I do?
just to
Oh,
let
okay,
yourself off the hook, and to say this
Yeah.
isn't your problem to solve.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. That like, if this is working for them, if the phone calls and they're kind of, you know, figuring it out together,
Yeah.
like, maybe this is a process of figuring it out.
yeah.
And it doesn't look like we all think it should right now,
Mm-hmm.
which means that there's maybe not a role for you to play in them figuring it out.
Yeah.
But of course, you see your cousin hurting, and you see your cousin in that place where it may never change, or it may
Mhm.
never get the outcome that you want.
Yeah.
And it's just hard when everyone around you knows that, but you don't,
Yeah.
right? And so sometimes
Yeah.
people need their process.
I would say that, and I would say to yes and that as like the role of the lovely listener who submitted this story. I would say there is nothing you can say that's gonna like change their mind.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have to go through this on their own. Like, your cousin best friend will have to maybe get their heart broken time and time again until, you know, number 11 will be the one that like sets them up. But there's nothing you can say or do, I believe, that will stop it. Like, you have to let them go through the process, as you said. So all you can do is like be supportive. And maybe what you can do is like maybe make a rule of like not talking about it.
You might have to set that boundary.
Yeah, like, I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it. Like, not because I don't want to hear about it, but it's only so many times we can have the same conversation. And I don't want to be the parent that's telling you, like, you can't eat candy, because you're going to end up eating candy in secret,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm going to be the person who's like, everything else. Oh, you're getting a phone call.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, everything is ringing.
Everything is ringing
in
in the house. Maybe.
Anyways.
Anyway, maybe that is
Yeah.
our cue to call.
Yeah, that's our cue. This is
That's
a
our-
long
This
episode.
is a long episode. Maybe that's our cue to call. So, lovely listener, I think that
Yeah.
I think caring counts, right? You obviously care a lot.
Caring counts. Got
Karen.
it. I heard Karen.
Karen herself.
Oh, Karen herself
Karen's
counts.
counting.
She's counting.
Karen's counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Caring counts,
Caring
and
counts.
it matters a lot here.
Mhm.
But maybe for your own well-being, caring a little bit less will also help you figure out what to do, right? When
Yeah.
you take a step back, I think you do get some clarity. So maybe when you step back a little bit and to assess like what you need in this dynamic,
Yeah.
that might be the best way you can support your friend, right? Is
Mhm.
to maybe not judge or step into something that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily require your intervention at this time.
Totally. Yeah.
Anyway, I think
That's
that
great.
we've said enough.
We did. Well,
Listen.
lovely listeners, if you made it to this part of the episode, we are so happy you're here.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank
Yay.
you. Thank you for
Yay.
being here.
Yay.
And if you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We're on all of the social media things now. And if you're only listening to this podcast, oh my goodness, you're only getting half the story.
Join us on YouTube.
Join us on YouTube where you can watch us and you can look at my Jeff Probst shirt and then you can see Jakey's camo shirt.
Anyway,
Actually, you won't be able to see it because it's camo.
anyway, we'll see you next week.
See you next
Okay.
week, baby dolls.
Bye.
Bye.